All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 and congratulations for being here. If you're passive, people are going to walk all over you. They're going to say, I'm going to need to think about it. And they're, see ya, they're gone. They're going to ghost you. If you're too aggressive, you come off like an asshole and they don't want to deal with you. We want to be assertive. Play your A game. Be assertive. Be the authority. People don't want to be sold. They want to choose to buy. If your tone is off, or if your body language is brutal, you won't make a sale. So I want to have people feel so good that just take my money.
Sales calls online. Before I was very nervous. Now I'm 9, 10 out of 10 for sure.
I did the Dojo with Joe Marcoux and it was stellar.
93% of the challenge that people have on sales calls is tone and body language, not the words.
If you're doing any kind of high ticket sales, I highly recommend joining this program.
Your level of assertion comes with confidence, and your confidence will happen when you put in the reps. Your emotions go up. What do you think happens right here on your face?
The confidence that I gained in 3 months' time, the objection handling came up, and I actually look forward to it.
You sometimes get to the moment of truth and you have to hold. And your body language will give it away. So if you don't have that confidence, then where does your authority go? No hums, no uhs, no buts, no stuttering, and what happens is your authority stays high.
I run multiple businesses with multiple salespeople. They are all in.
So thank you everybody for being here. You represent us, you're a lighting inverter company. This is not about inverters. Joe is somebody I know from my business mastermind. He is a top tier, world-class sales expert and an even better human being. So a rising tide raises all boats. I have him here to give you some free training, to brush up on sales skills, to maybe learn a few tricks, and just listen to this guy. He's going to raise the level of what you do and help you sell everything, not just my lighting inverters. So I know a lot of you reps might have 50 to 100 companies on your line. This is to help you all. You're all kindred spirits of mine. You've all helped me grow the business here. So I want to give back and be of value to you. And I can't think of anybody better for sales training than Joe Marcoux. So with that, I'm going to hand over the wheel to him, let him help you guys out.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. I want to congratulate you all to be here. I know that some of you are, your video cameras are off. I want to share with you the fact that 55% of the way that we communicate is body language. 38% of the way we communicate is tone of voice. So whether you're old school and you're on the phone, or on the phone if you're new school, so that gives you a sense of how old I am. Either way, 93% of the challenge that we all have as salespeople is tone and body language. It's not the words, although I am going to be sharing you certain words that are going to help you influence and persuade. So I'm going to get into some stuff here. And the fun thing that I want to share as we get going is, as I get started with you, I want to share with you how to become a black belt in the sales process. And so how do we do this? I'm going to share my screen, and again, I'll be sharing some sound. And at any point, if you have any questions, feel free, put it in the chat. And this is going to be interactive. My presentation doesn't necessarily go over my own personal history. However, I will share this much. In every instance, and I share this with you not to impress you, to impress upon you something important. In every instance, whether it was a company that I owned or when I was a representative, in every instance when I was a rep, I always had the smallest territory and I was always the #1 selling rep by volume, by revenue. I want to, that's not to try to impress you, it's to impress upon you. And I'm going to share with you the reasons behind what made me a rep better than the other reps that I was working with on my team or my competitors. And this, again, take the information that you're going to learn today, like spare ribs, you keep the meat and throw away the bone. Or if you're a vegan like Bob, then you know what, you take the stock and you throw away the leaf, or back and forth. Okay. I mean, ultimately, there's information that you're going to be able to take, and these are just tools that you can put in the toolbox. So let me go over this with you folks. Okay. First of all, I do want to thank our good friend Bob. Bob, nice shirt. I couldn't have planned it any better. So this is awesome. So the interesting thing that Bob mentioned at the beginning of this is that I'm not an expert when it comes to inverters, and I know that there's a variety of different inverters that are available. And what Bob is doing, the preface of this is exactly what I did when I was a rep to help, whether it was selling exercise equipment to retail stores, whether it was selling cogs and wheels to manufacturers. I'm not kidding. All I did was I helped them sell and teach how to sell to their users. So whether it was, that's the goal, because if you could raise the game, then the whole business that's working with you, they'll buy more, and ultimately you'll sell more. And what's really interesting is they will have this emotional connection to you, and because of that alignment, they feel indebted to you. And I'll give you an example, a little hint on this. So I'm looking at Lori Flanders right now. Lori, I'm gonna say something, and just listen to how Lori responds. Lori and I have never met before. Okay, so if I said, Lori, welcome to the call, congratulations, what are you going to say back to me?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Right? She's going to thank me. And if you guys heard how I welcomed you all to the call, and you'll likely be thinking, thank you. Here's, again, from a persuasion perspective, take the information like you will, you guys. When you get somebody to say thank you, it validates their decision. It already lets them know that taking the meeting with you or seeing you or taking the call, it validates the decision. It's the right decision, number one. Number two, when somebody says thank you to you subconsciously, they feel like they owe you. So you're already off. At the beginning of a conversation with someone, you're off to a great start. So congratulations and thank you for being here, right? Excellent. All right. So today's agenda, I'm going over a lot of different stuff. I'm going to, this is a fire hose. I want you to take your glass, empty it, because I'm going to fill it up. And sales in and of itself, the concept of sales hasn't really changed. What has changed is technology. What has changed is psychology. So I'm going to go over the work before the work, the most important set, a hybrid approach to sales, because you could be a hunter or a farmer, the buying conversation roadmap to be able to really nail it down to earn the right to ask for somebody's business, give you some hacks, some tips for speed, taking aim, which means align, inspire, motivate, and empower, with preventing objections before they happen, and the two ingredients that you need to be able to have people buy, because nobody wants to be sold. They want to buy. People hate being sold. And then I'm going to show you how to overcome objections like a sales samurai. So there's two rules that I'm going to go over with you guys today. First thing is your phone ringers and your email should be closed. What I want you to do is just pay full attention. I want you to play full on. There's going to be times where I'm actually going to call on you. So even if your video isn't on, I might say, Amelia Richardson, unmute and say hello, and you're going to have to play. So I'm asking everybody to play full on. You can have your, I would prefer that you had your camera on, like Lori, so that this way I can have a look at you, because I've been blessed to be able to work with some of the masters that I've learned from, people like Tony Robbins and his coach of coaches, right? We're talking Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Bob Proctor. These guys are masters. Mark Victor Hansen, Jack Canfield. I mean, I've done a ton of work, and then let alone where I've met Bob with Craig Ballantyne and his group of coaches. So I'm going to encourage you, keep your camera on, take photos if you want. You can tag at SOS Dojo and just play. All right, let's go. So you'll see this at the end. Your investment today, I want you to think about this as if this was, imagine that this call cost you $500,000, because I can promise you, you're going to get tips and processes, because sales is a process. It's not an art form. Sales is a process. Doesn't matter what you sell. It's a universal language. You take this information, I promise you, you're going to be able to make it to good use and make money out of it. These are just some of the clients that I happen to work with. I've had the pleasure of work with. I'm going to keep moving along. I'm going to ask this question. You can put it in the chat or you can unmute. What is this? If you see this photo, what do you see? Tell me what you see. Put it in the chat or unmute and just say it out loud.
It's samurai.
Samurai.
It's a samurai. Yes.
Samurai.
Thank you. This is a warrior in the garden. I'm just going to check the chat. Yeah, samurai in a garden. There you go. And here's the thing, you guys. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It is exceptionally competitive. I did a lot of research on you guys, and it was fascinating. This is an exceptionally competitive industry that you're in. There's also issues about compliance, and there's things that make it challenging. And so with that, if you aren't prepared ahead of time, then you end up being a gardener in a war. And that's how you get decimated. And like it or not, war is upon you. So there's a hybrid approach to sales. You could be a farmer where you build relationships and you just focus on relationship, and you could be the key skill with that is you're collaborative and you're great with building relationship, which is awesome. You still need to hunt. And that requires a level of skills of independence and still being able to have initiative and knowing what to say and how to say it. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. 38% of your tone, 55% of the way we communicate is body language. So we need to be a hybrid in all of this. And the secret to being the number one salesperson in your environment is you got to build relationships. You've got to be able to provide things that are relevant to your guests. I don't like to call them prospects. I like to call them guests. And then you got to reward not only your guests, your existing clients, you also got to reward yourself. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on the important thing of your motivation. So I don't know what, you can't motivate people. You can inspire them. Motivation is really what's their motive? We got to get interested enough to find out what's their motive to action. So it's about relationships, being relevant, and then rewarding yourself and your guests. So the number one metric to a product or service in any business is repeat purchase. If you're selling a product like an inverter to a group of people that resell it to contractors that are going to put it in places, it's the repeat purchase that's the metric. So the question that you can ask for client retention is this: what am I doing right? And whatever they answer, you guys, like if I'm Calvin Akers, and hopefully I said that correct. If it's Akers or Akers, you can correct me. If I get the answer right, Calvin can turn around and hear whatever answers you get, Calvin. Here's the thing: you double down on what you hear. You don't ask your clients, where can I improve? You likely already know that. The question that you need to ask is, hey, Tori, what am I doing right now as far as servicing you and your company? And whatever they tell you, you double down on that, because that's how you're getting measured. This is gold, you guys. If you want to keep farming and growing the relationships and having people that continue to keep doing repeat business with you, this is the ultimate question to ask. All right. There's 3 C's to being a sales samurai. You need to be able to have confidence. Confidence, because when you have confidence in the way that you communicate, people believe you. You need to have conviction. If you don't have conviction, then nobody believes in you. And then you need to have control. And this is where a lot of people, they lack. Because you can believe in your product and your service. However, if you come in way too hot, then no control, you repel people. You ever experienced that before? You had somebody come in and they're selling, and telling. Telling isn't selling. So what can we do to be able to compel someone in such a way where our mannerisms and our behavior, what questions can we ask? And that's the key. And it comes down to the level of communication style. Like you can be passive in your approach and you could say, hey, you can call me whenever you want. And then you get ghosted. Or you could be aggressive and say, so when am I getting that PO? Right? What we need to be is we need to find our level of, and you'll see that, being assertive, you need it'll stretch over time with your development of skills. Sales is a perishable skill, and you need to keep the axe sharp. So if you take the passive approach, it's, hey, take my card and call me when you're ready. You're never going to get a meeting. If you come in aggressive, like the Dr. Evil, right? It's a vacation club. Like you're also going to turn people off. So what we need to find is that level of assertiveness in the middle. So the question I have for you is, what drives you? And if you've never read the book, Start With Why, great book, highly recommended, from Simon Sinek. Get it on Audible. And the question is, what is your why? What is your why? So real quick in the chat, what's the driving force behind your business? What's the reason that you're doing what you're doing? And it could be, hey, I just want to make a great paycheck. And you go deeper than that because I want to be able to provide for my family because I love my kids. That's a why. So what's your why? There's no wrong answer. This is personal. The key here, by the way, I want to let you know that when you're asking somebody in a discovery process, you can say, what is your why? You just never start a question with, why do you do that? Because why is a trigger word. And these are your own personal answers. So what's your why? Very important to ask yourself, because if you don't have something that drives you, that gets you up in the morning, that gets you motivated, that inspires you to work, it can't just be about the money. The money's the byproduct. So what's a why? So
my
in the chat,
my why is I'm so competitive that I get up every day because I want to win.
yeah, man, thrill of the chase. That's great. I have right on. Thank you, Matt. I got to feel valuable to the reps to support me in my business. That's great. Got personal development that turns into people development, that turns into network development. So knowing your why, you guys, and one exercise that you can do on your own time is called 7 levels deep. And you, again, a why question is something that you ask yourself personally. It's what's the ultimate outcome? Why is that important to me? And then just write it out 7 times and you'll see it's an emotional exercise. I learned that one from Dean Graciosi, and it's absolutely powerful. What's your why? Purpose and to provide for family. Like, just Robert, like if that doesn't wake you up in the morning, I don't know what will. Leave a legacy. So what's your why? Figure it out. And the most important set, because I want to go through a lot of stuff and I want to get into some skills and some reps with you guys in a bit. The most important set is your mindset. I like to ask this question, especially in some of the people that I deal with that are in some kind of health or wellness or fitness trade. And we all should have a health, perspective, because if you can't look the part, if you can't show that you take care of yourself, some people will judge you based on simply on appearance. And it is what it is. It's unfortunate reality. Then the thing is that if you don't come in doing the work before the work correctly, if your skill set doesn't match your mindset, then it won't be in alignment with your heart set. So I like to ask fitness people, what's the most important set? And they say, oh, it's the 3rd set. It's the last set. And it's your mindset. And your skill set will affect your mindset. If your heart's in the right place, that's great. You still need the skills so that you have the right mindset and it works in conjunction. So there's a sales call and there's a buying conversation, and there is a difference. Sales people don't want to be salesy. I will use nomenclature with you today that is sales related. Yet the fact of the matter is we want to create buying conversations because nobody wants to be sold anymore. They want to buy. And so a buying conversation has a structure. And if you don't have the structure, then you'll never make sales. And if you don't have a structure, then there's no way you can scale it. So you need to be able to follow a roadmap. There's process to this. And the most beautiful thing you can wear to a sales meeting or a buying conversation is confidence. And that requires preparation. So when you want to have confidence, I want you guys to know this. When you're going in, especially when you're meeting somebody new, check the way that you feel and change the question. I want to give you an example of this. If you meet somebody and you're not really sure, like a lot of salespeople, we have this thing where it's like, man, I hope they like me. Geez, do they like me? Change the question. And the question that you need to change to help you build confidence is, do I like this person? And the moment that you switch it, where you take control and you go, do I like this person? That's going to help you build your confidence because now you're in control. You get to literally say, am I going to sell to this person or not? Am I going to help them make a decision? Because as salespeople, selling is serving. Selling is helping. Our job in sales is to do one thing. It's help people make a decision. We're all professional decision maker-uppers. And so you got to want to know, am I in alignment with this person so that do I like them? Then you can make the choice to work with them or not. And that's a legitimate thing. So check and change. You need the 3 E's to be excellent in sales. You need energy, you need enthusiasm, and you need empathy. Highest energy wins in sales. So what's your energy when you show up for a call? And can you pace that energy with someone? If you get on a phone call with someone or in a meeting with someone, and let me tell you, like right now, obviously I'm in front of an audience, I'm coming in at a level 11 out of 10, right? If I'm just on a call, let's say with I see Jay Jenkins here. Like, Jay, if I came up to you at a level 11 on our first meeting, I might just like overpower you, which could turn you off. So the key here is you start a call, and then if you see somebody at a level 5, then you got to show up at a level 6. If they're at a level 3, you got to bring down to a level 4. And over the course of the conversation, you come up. If somebody's at a level 4, right? And I say level 4, maybe the coffee maker at home didn't work and there was no coffee left at the office. So now it's like, dang it, man, there's no coffee. If they show up at a level 3 and you show up at a level 11, you're going to overpower them and turn them off. So the idea behind energy pacing at the beginning of a call is match it. And then as you go through what you have to offer, take the time to pace up. And by the way, like a sales cycle, it might take months for people to start doing work with you. Pace your energy on every meeting. You have to be aware of your energy, because otherwise, if you don't match, you're going to be out of alignment. And you need to be enthusiastic when you get to the moment of being able to show what you have to offer. So when you're showing the inverters and you're excited about them, that's where people will want to buy. You got to earn the right to get here, though. You still need the energy. And ultimately, empathy is the most important thing, because once you match the empathy to the energy, you're asking questions. And the questions aren't about you. It's about them. This is important because salespeople make the decision of always using I statements. You want to be able to avoid I statements as much as possible, because it's not about I, it's about you. So confidence, change your state. If you want to get really, really exceptionally strong in the sense of this, stand up. Get a stand-up desk, or before you get on a call, even if it's on the phone, right? They can't see you. You can stand. You can wear a headset and stand up. Changing your state makes a huge difference to your energy level, and that way you can pace accordingly. Changing your state, by the way, there's been studies on this, and I can go deeper into it. I'll just share this much. This pose, this what they call the superhero pose, the woman that's in the picture in front of Wonder Woman here has a TED Talk on this. You can look it up. If you stand for 2 minutes in this superhero pose, not only does it raise your confidence, it actually raises your testosterone level by 20%. I can't make this up. So of course, when my wife sees me standing in the superhero pose for a few minutes before bedtime, it's like, oh my God, Joe. And that's like, yeah, you got to have some fun with this, guys. All right. And then there's the C of conviction. Right? I'm glad I'm getting some chuckles from people. That's awesome. Right? We got to have some fun. So here's the thing. This is Steph Curry. Steph Curry is known as the GOAT of three-pointers in the NBA. And I'm a Canadian, and I know who this guy is. Steph Curry does this. As far as conviction, he does 500 practice shots every day. That's 3,500 practice shots a week. That is 168,000 practice shots a year. He's been in the NBA for over 15 years. That is 2.5 million practice shots in a 15-year career, totaling 3,952 three-point shots in gameplay. Can you see the level of conviction here, guys? Listen, folks, this guy puts in the work. You put in the practice, you're going to get the results. He's known as the GOAT for that. The metrics don't lie. So what we do in private gets rewarded in public. What we do in practice gets rewarded at game time. And you know what? At the beginning, you're going to have to embrace the suck, because it's not easy at first. Role play, you hear role play, most salespeople go, oh, forget it, man. I've been in sales for too long. I'm not going to do role play. I'll tell you what, you got to practice. And you're going to fail at times. The thing is, and most people, when they do role play, within 5 minutes, they're talking about what are they doing tonight? They're off kilter. They're not staying focused. Find a mentor, find a coach, do the role play, do the work. I promise you that will make the difference. You got to invest in yourself, because if you want the fruits, you got to work on the roots. And so when you have control, you have better communication skills. You're committed to Kaizen, which is Japanese for continual, never-ending improvement. And you've got to have that mindset of growth as opposed to being fixed. And my goal is I want you to be like that samurai in the garden. I want you to be so dangerously skilled so that you don't have to be dangerous. So my question to everybody here is, on a scale of 1 to 10, what level of expert are you? Put it in the chat. What level of expert are you in your world? Everybody should be a 10, you guys. That's how I feel about you. You're all experts in your field. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 10 or an 11. The thing is the real question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, what level of communicator are you? And I'm not suggesting that you're a 3. I'm simply saying that if you think that you're a level 3 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8 communicator, then you're not making level 10 money. You're not making level 10 impact. You're not making level 10 service ability. And that's the difference. See, what you have to offer, even if it's price driven, you can separate yourself with the way that you communicate with people, being relevant and providing them ability. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what level of communication and communicator do you want to be committed to? And that's up to you guys. You're going to have to sweat more during peace to bleed less during war. And like I said earlier, this is a perishable skill. So this, my friends, is the buying conversation roadmap. You got to have a reason for people to want to talk to you, which is their offer. And then you got to connect with people, whether they're new or somebody existing. You got to have rapport. You got to learn in discovery the 2 magic ingredients that people will buy every time. You need to understand people's goals, and then ultimately, what are their emotional desires and how urgent is it for them to get that? And then you'll see there's temperature checks during this process, because people buy based on emotion and justify with logic. I'm going to say this again. People buy based on emotion and justify with logic. So a temperature check question is on a scale. I just gave you one. On a scale of 1 to 10, you went right to logic. The moment that you can put a number to something, you act on logic. And we need both to create a buying conversation, to ultimately get to a place where we can pitch, and you may have to overcome objections or not. You need the skill to know what to say and how to say it during this process. And there's work before the work. So what's part of the work before the work? It's knowing that you're going to be prepared. You're going to show up on time. It's making sure that you're well-dressed, well-energized, that you have plenty of sleep. And it's doing the work before a meeting with people. Now, that's called planning, preparing, making sure that you have a list of questions that you're going to ask, finding out a little bit about the people that you're going to meet. And it's all out there. Now, the problem is some people go, Joe, I don't want to be a stalker. You're not being a stalker. If it's public domain, if you go to LinkedIn, if you go to Facebook, what people want are likes and follows. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go on a Facebook page, check stuff out, and then all of a sudden tell somebody, for example, let's say I'm looking at Glenn, and I'd say, hey, Glenn, I noticed that you went out with your family on the weekend at the pool. That's kind of creepy. However, if you said, hey, Glenn, did you do anything interesting over the weekend? Now Glenn can choose to tell me or not. So there's a difference in terms of the approach to building rapport. It's out there. It's up to you to use it. And remember, you're going to be judged. No matter how you like it, the fact of the matter is human beings are going to judge each other on how punctual they are, how confident they are, what's their level of knowing of what they have to sell, and how important that are they making me feel if I'm your guest. And I don't call people prospects. I call people guests. And the reason that is because mindset plays tricks on us at all times. Imagine that you're on a call with someone and God forbid your phone rang, right? You're actually in a meeting with someone and your phone rang and you go, oh, hang on, I got to take this to my wife. Hey, Shauna, I got to let you go. I'm actually with a prospect right now. Like, you guys deal with prospects. Would you ever actually call somebody a prospect? No. Now, think of it from this perspective. Imagine that I'm on a call and or in a meeting and I get, hey, I'm sorry, I got to take this. And Shauna, I got to call you back. I'm actually with a guest right now. Just that one word shifts the way that it makes you feel, because a guest is VIP. And that's exactly what Bob wanted for you guys to come here today, to feel important, which you are. So raise the bar. It's up to you, because right now AI is such a big thing, and it's not about AI, it's about HI, human interaction. People, there is a recession on human interaction. There's a recession on trust. And when people get to know you, like you, and trust you because you give, and you're just simply being relevant and you're giving, they're going to buy from you. And it may not necessarily happen with one conversation. It may take several, and that's okay. It's just a question of being relentless and working on the skills of human interaction. So I'll give you an example of something that's really powerful. I'll be on a call with someone and I will show that I'm using a notepad and I'll take notes. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. This simple act. And I just need to take crib notes. Now, I'll walk into a meeting and I'll bring a notepad and I'll sit down with people and just take notes. And I'll ask questions. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Has anybody read that book before? Yeah? I see yes or no's. Pick up that book. That is like a winner. That's an annual book. Bob's raised his hand. This is written by Dale Carnegie. And the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is based on Dale Carnegie's life. And so if I'm gonna paraphrase How to Win Friends and Influence People in one sentence is, don't try to be interesting. Be interested. People buy off of who they know, like, and trust. They buy based on emotion and justify with logic. No matter where they are, some way, one way or another, they're living on Pain Island. There's a level of pain there, and everybody wants to live on Pleasure Island. You, with the solutions that you have to provide with electrical, with lighting, with inverters, with all of the products and services that you have to offer, guess what? You're the bridge to Pleasure Island. All we got to do now is get them to pay the toll. That's it. And there's a process to doing that. So take notes. I promise you, it'll help build a connection. So again, align, inspire, motivate, empower. AIME. Aim in French is M, which means love. This is not by default. This is by design. When you get somebody to know, love, and trust you, they'll buy anything from you. And our goal is to delight our clients. Satisfaction shouldn't be enough for you. We want to delight them. And so if you think the work before the work, think from the end. What do you want to get? You want to get more repeat business. You want to be able to get referrals. You want to get testimonials. The money shows up when you get repeat business, referrals, testimonials. That can be a North Star. And those are metrics that you can measure. Think from the end, you're going to get more business, get more referrals. So I come back to this roadmap because if you follow the steps to this roadmap and you build up the skills of each step, you'll make more sales, and you can make them objectionless. So if it's building rapport, start with rapport. 3 words that I love to use. And again, 99% of the things that I'm sharing with you today, I've learned from other masters. This one, just for fun, I got to say I made it up. So I'm going to take credit for this one. When you say just for fun for someone, it lowers people's guard. Because who doesn't want to have fun? So just for fun, let's start with rapport. If you see these 2 women here, you can see something that they're doing. They're smiling. For everybody whose video camera is on, we're going to do something that's going to stretch your comfort zone a little bit, and that's okay, right? And you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Look at this. Edward Slavin turns his camera on. God bless you, sir. All right, here's what we're going to do, you guys. In 3 seconds, all I'm going to get you to do is imagine you get on a Zoom call or you meet somebody in a meeting or you're at a networking event. You meet somebody for the first time. What should you do? You got to smile. And here's the deal with the smile. And I'm looking at Jay right now and he's like, oh crap, I can do this, no problem. So here's the thing, you guys. When you smile, there's two smiles that we've seen. We've seen the fake one. You know the fake one where it's not with the eyes, it's just this, it's just this. It's totally creepy. When you're going to smile and you can practice your smile, smile from your eyes. If you smile from your eyes, there's always a little bit of a squint. You can see people who smile a lot, they got crow's feet because they're happy people. It's energetic. So all I'm going to do on the count of 3, we're going to smile. You're going to smile back at me. 1, 2, 3, smile. Damn, you guys are good looking people. Great job. It's all it is. Change your state, smile a little bit, and then welcome people to the call. Congratulate them even. They're going to say thank you, and you're off to a good start. You validate the decision. We also want to be able to do a little bit of work before the work. I love using LinkedIn, and I'll talk to you about that a little in another moment here. 2 must-have ingredients to make sales happen are desire and urgency. In the process of getting to desire and urgency, we need to figure out what the goals are for the people that we're speaking with. And I'm moving quickly here. The factors to an objectionless sale is figuring out somebody's specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound goals. Typically, you can easily get 3 SMART goals from someone. Once you get their SMART goals, you'll figure out the desire and urgency, and then you'll commit to the way that you align and inspire, motivate, and empower. So again, desire. Guess how we all got here, my friends? Thanks to our parents. That desire, I know it's embarrassing. So, and then we go into the temperature check. So desire is based on emotion. Temperature check is based on logic. So you could say, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important and urgent is it for you to get these inverters set up for you? And then a second temperature check is how important, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how confident are you that working with us, we're going to be able to serve you to make sure that we hit this goal and hit this goal and hit this goal to ultimately fulfill the desire? That's how you do a temp check. And they give you a number. And the goal is to get them to a 9 or a 10. And the skill set in this just takes practice. Right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how important and urgent? And you use TED-based questions. How many of you are familiar with TED Talks? Right? TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. Well, in the SOS Dojo, TED stands for Tell Me, Explain to Me, Describe to Me. Folks, if you want to be able to get to know someone and really understand where they are in terms of what they want to accomplish, where their emotional state is, you ask them, so tell me a little bit about where you are right now in this project. Just explain to me what happens if you end up having a power failure and then you need service. What happens? Describe to me what happens if the inverter that you need service on, you can't get a hold of anybody. Describe to me that feeling. So explain to me what happens. Who calls you? So tell me if you don't have the right inverter with the level of service that you can get. Tell me what happens, even if it was cheaper. Tell me what happens if something fails. And we just have the conversation. Then you can lead people based on their answers. Tell me, explain to me, describe to me. Use TED to your advantage. Lean on your buddy Ted. You'll be able to get desire and the sense of urgency using these techniques. And don't make the mistake to pitch too soon. You've got to earn the right to pitch. And you can pre-objection handle with the right questions. Like I like saying it at times, because especially in the world where it could be looked like as a commodity, can you believe that somebody would actually risk a lower price? Can you believe that somebody would actually risk a lower price? It's crazy. And what I'm implying is service comes at a cost. Here's a great question. What do you think the reasons are that people invest with us even though there's other options? This question allows people to tell you the reason why you're better, despite the fact that there's other options out there. This is literally a writer downer, you guys. This question has served me well over the years. What am I doing right? I'll double down on that. And then what do you think the reasons are that people invest with me even though there's other options out there? Temperature check question number 2 is after I find out what their goals are and their desires and their urgency, I go through my pitch and then I'll say, hey, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how confident are you that we're going to be able to fulfill your needs based on your goals and desire? They'll tell me 9 or 10. If I get some people, by the way, they say, I never give anything a 10. It's just the way that I am. Nothing's ever a 10. Then I'd say, so Jay, what you're saying therefore is 9 is the new 10? Awesome. Let's go. Because culturally, by the way, there are certain cultures and people's backgrounds, like they'll never give you a 10. That's okay. You can just turn the 9 into a 10. And then we're going to deal into objections, which is what led to the birth and growth of the sales objection system Dojo. This is where the wheelhouse is. So out of curiosity, what objections do you guys hear? Whether it's in sales or whether it's in, you throw a pitch. Let me hear them. Yeah, price too expensive, lead time's too long, lead time and cost. Do you ever hear, hey, I'm going to have to go speak with the board on this. So lead time, popular, interesting. Excellent. Well, we got price. Can you guarantee approval? Oh, I love it. Excellent. Cost and lead time. Excellent. So here's the thing, right? You're going to hear different objections, and objections are like putting a little baby to bed. If you've ever done this before, you know it's, I want mommy, I want daddy, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need to go to the bathroom, tell me a story. It's all a bunch of BS, and sometimes it's a white lie because some people will say things to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Okay? My question to all of you is, do you believe in your product, the service, and programs that you offer? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe in your product, your service, in your programs that you offer. Should be everyone, right? Everybody should be hammering out the 1s. Awesome. Well, here's the thing, it's a trap. Or if you're a Star Wars fan, it's a trap. And that's the trap, because the fact that you guys believe so much, and you should, the fact that you believe in the product that you're offering to people, that you're providing this solution, the fact that you believe it, your emotions go up when somebody says, man, that's expensive. And it's like, what do you mean it's expensive? Like, the emotional response that you have then can turn a whole conversation and literally go down the tubes. And we got to be careful. So when your emotions go up, your intelligence goes down. And by the way, these rules apply not only in sales, it applies in relationships. We've all had those moments in time where we've had arguments or conversations with people that have led to conversation, to a debate, to an argument, to a fight, and then all of a sudden I've said something that I regret. Emotions go up, intelligence goes down. Let's not let that happen in our sales approach. And remember that an objection is not a rejection. An objection is simply no for now. We got to figure out what the problem is. And the thing is, a lot of people hate sales because they don't want to get rejected. If you look at the person on the right, they're sad, they're embarrassed, they're heartbroken. So you have to develop the skill set ahead of time, knowing that, yeah, I'm going to encounter some objections, and now I need to know what to say and how to say it. So I'm going to show you how to do that in 2 easy steps. 2 easy steps. This is writer downer moment. The SOS, the sales objection system, acknowledge the person, not the objection. You acknowledge the human being that you are speaking to. Then you ask them a question. Step 1, acknowledge. Step 2, ask a question. That is the blueprint. This is the systematic approach to handling any objection. If you just ask a question instead of acknowledging, you come across as abrasive. You could be on the defensive and you ask the wrong question and you come across as offensive. So there's a skill to this. So if you think you've got the skill yet, I'm telling you, hang on a second. Because the way that we're going to do this for the last 10 odd minutes here is I'm going to get an opportunity to play. And it's not tell you, it's not show you, I'm going to involve you so that we all understand it and we practice it. And we're going to use John Wooden, who's the all-time best coach in NCAA history, as the example. He had 8 laws of learning, and I added a 9th law for you guys to use in sales. And the 8 laws of learning from John Wooden are information, demonstration, imitation. Now, right now, there's going to be some of you that might go, imitation? Oh God, Joe, I don't want to be a robot. Hang on. You got to put in the reps. Law number 4. Law number 5, repetition. Law number 6, repetition. It's like Steph Curry. I'll keep going. 7, 8, repetition, okay? Law number 9, however, is when you put it in your own words. That's when you do it the way that you're taught, to a point where you understand the recipe to do it. Sales is a process. It is not an art form. Baking is a process. It is not an art form until you understand the recipe. If you're a musician, you've got to be able to learn the notes on the paper until you know them so well that you don't have to look at the notes anymore, and then you can play the music. That's the point. So let's use your product's too expensive. Man, that's too expensive. Oh my God, is that in pesos? Right? It's too expensive. Acknowledge it. Hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel. Just out of curiosity, Calvin, what exactly are we comparing this to? And I don't say, what are you comparing it to? That body language just turns people off. And again, what we want to do is we want to acknowledge the person and then ask the question. What we want to do is not be pushy. We want to be inclusive. That's the purpose of the SOS. So your product's too expensive. Hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel, Calvin. I'm just curious, what exactly are we comparing this to? So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to play it as if we're in the dojo right now, just so that you guys understand that a dojo is a place to train where you can make mistakes. So for those of you that got your screens on, we'll just do a quick exercise, and I've got this set up so you'll be able to see it. I'll share my screen with you, and you're just going to literally say what is on screen. I'm going to say to you, it's too expensive. You're going to say, thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to? Just do that. Unmute yourself. I will call your name. We're going to put in some quick reps, and then I'm going to make it a little harder, and you'll see where I'm going with this. It's just I'm going to spoon feed a couple things, and then we're going to put in some drills. All right. So unmute yourselves. Ted, that's you too, buddy. All right. We're just going to have a bit of fun here. Again, guys, you're in a dojo. This is the safest place to make mistakes. Nobody's going to laugh at you or anything like that. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. All right. So Jay Jenkins, you're first. Somebody's got to be first. You just read the script. All right. We're going to take the script away eventually, you guys. So Jay, you know what, man? These inverters are just, this one's too expensive.
Well, thanks, Joe, for letting me know how you feel. I'm curious to know what we're comparing this to.
Excellent. Thank you. Calvin, over to you. Hey, you know what, Calvin? It's just too expensive.
And thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are you comparing it to?
Okay, let's go from you to we, Calvin. Let's do it again. So just go, instead of what are you, what are we comparing it? You'll see it's inclusive. Small change, but I'll tell you, it's an atomic habit that we're gonna shift. Calvin, one more time. It's too expensive.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to?
Thank you. Matt Laporta, it's too expensive.
I hear you. I appreciate that. Are we comparing this thing apples to apples, or?
All right. So Matt, here's what's interesting. The way that you acknowledge it, again, safe place, my man. So what you said is, yeah, I appreciate that. You're actually agreeing with me that it's expensive in your acknowledgement. So what we need to do is, and this happens very often. So what we need to do is just, hey, appreciate you sharing your opinion. I'll even go further with this, you guys. These are just the words right now. What you may have noticed so far with the 3 reps that we've seen, this is what we've seen. Thanks for letting me know how you feel, right? We're active listeners. You're probably picking up on this right now. What does this mean without me saying anything?
Agreed.
Understood.
Means
You
yes.
agree, you're involved.
Correct. So now what do you need to do? You need to do this. Thanks for letting me know how you feel. Just curious, what exactly are we comparing this to? And the body language is this, and I'm exaggerating it so you see it. Now, right now, you're all going to be trying it, and the first few times you try it, you're going to bobblehead. It's going to be like, oh my God, this feels so freaking weird. It's no different, by the way, than the first time that you try an exercise, or the first time that you try to, like the first time I tried doing a beef Wellington at home in the kitchen, I blew it. It was horrible. Now I do it and it's like awesome. It took me several reps to get there. So just keep this in mind. We're going to work the words, then we're going to work on your tone, then we're going to work on the body language. Like all of this plays into the skill set so that when you get into a conversation, you know what to say and how to say it. It's amazing. So Matt, it's thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to? Don't worry about the body language stuff yet. We'll get to that in a quick sec. Thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to? So Matt, it's too expensive.
Thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Attaboy, love it. Ted, it's too expensive.
Thanks, Joe, for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Thank you. Robert Emerson, it's too expensive.
Thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Well done. Thank you. Who else have I got on the list who's got their camera on? Tori, it's too expensive.
Thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Thank you. Edward Slavin, it's too expensive, man. Wow.
Joe, thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Okay, so you guys already have the words down, right? We got the words down. Oh, Lori, I see you there. Yeah, you're not getting away with it. Lori, it's too expensive. Go ahead.
Thank you for letting me know how you feel. What are we comparing this to?
Nicely done. And you notice, Lori, right? You're an active listener and you're doing this.
I am all the time. I'm a bobblehead.
So now what we need to do, and so these are small skills that make a massive difference to your sales outcomes, you guys. So now what I want to impart with you with 7 minutes to go is this. If you help your people that sell these inverters on your behalf get better at sales, just sales, never mind Bob's product, you're going to sell more of Bob's product and your product, period. This was what I did. Instead of me trying to compete with spec versus spec, it always came down to price. Hey, I'm going to help you guys do a better job of just growing your business. As a contractor, I'm going to come in, I'm going to help you be a better contractor and a better salesperson. That's your job as a rep. When you do that, you're helping other people with their skills. It's going to raise the boat. Okay? So now, just for fun, 3 words, right? Just for fun. We're going to do this again. It's thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly comparing this to? Here's an added tip. When you want to go into empathy, right? When your head is straight, you're in authority mode. When you want to go to empathy, you just tilt your head by 15 degrees. And you've seen this move before, by the way, when you were just this big. Ever since you were a baby, you saw the 15-degree move. So now it's all about you. So it's like, hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel. I'm just curious, Matt, what exactly are we comparing this to? You guys picking it up?
Mm-hmm.
These are small moves that make a massive difference. Another great book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. That 1%, these little pieces that we add to your sales toolbox will compound themselves over the course of just 3 to 4 months. Massive difference to your outcomes. So just for fun, you guys, I want you to go and you try exaggerating it, because at first it's going to be tough. Like I do it subtly now. Like, hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel. I want you to do this. Thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to? I know it's weird. It's just how to develop the synaptic response, so that I've got people that are black belts in my program that now they can't do thanks for letting me know. They can't do it anymore. They have to do this. It's just an automated response. The goal is in any situation for sales, the goal is to get to a point where we create unconscious competence. Okay. And what I mean by that is we want to get to a point where you don't even have to think. You just automatically perform the skill. And the only way that you do that, this pro level, is performing the skill where it becomes automatic. You just got to put in the reps. That's it. So coming back to this, it's thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to? So just for fun, everybody. All right. Lori, you're going first. Lori, it's too expensive.
Thanks for letting me know how you feel. What are we comparing this to?
Atta girl, nicely done, right? I know it feels weird. We're just going to try it out real quick.
It did feel weird. I had to think about it.
If you practice this on a regular basis with the right environment, like within just a couple of weeks, you'd nail it, and then it's automatic. And you would change the way that you respond to people. All right, let's just get a couple more reps in from people. Jay, it's too expensive.
Thanks for letting me know how you feel, Joe. What exactly were we comparing this to?
Nice. Love it. Calvin, it's too expensive, bro.
Hey, thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to?
Thank you. Tori, it's too expensive.
Thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Nice. Robert, it's too expensive, brother.
Thank you for letting me know how you feel. What are we exactly comparing it to?
Nicely done. Ted, unmute. It's too expensive.
Joe, thank you for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing this to?
Well done. I know it feels weird, guys. First couple reps. Matt, it's too expensive, bro.
Thanks for letting me know how you feel, Joe. What is it exactly that we're comparing this to?
Nicely done. Love the energy, man. Highest energy wins. And we'll finish with you, Edward. It's too expensive.
Joe, thanks for letting me know how you feel. What exactly are we comparing it to?
Well done, you guys. Well done. So now these are examples of some scripts up at first. What really matters isn't the words, it's the communication of tone and body language, right? So you do step 1, you do step 2. And I just wanted to go through this really quick. The 4 things that you need to achieve mastery are the following. You need an environment where it's a safe place to make mistakes. You need to put in quality reps. You need to be able to get feedback from somebody who's going to go, okay, quick, we're going to make timely course corrections. And then you need to practice deliberately. You don't do it with a cat. You don't do it with your spouse, unless your spouse is a black belt. You don't do it with the dog or in the mirror. You do it with somebody who can have outside eyes, making sure you do it right. Now, I was going to go into other people's power, or I need to speak to accounting. I need to speak to my manager. Unfortunately, we don't have time. However, I'm going to give you guys this. If you take a screenshot of this, and I will put it in the chat as well. Bob, I'm going to send you the link to this that everybody can get my book on the 26, how to handle the 26 toughest objections in sales.
Thank you, Joe. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Guys, this is the thing. You need to learn how to do this, and to be the best rep, you need to learn how to learn it. You need to do it. And then to be a great rep, you need to teach it to the people that are representing you on the front line. Now you can have me come in and I can help you do it, or you can come in and you can learn it and then you go off and teach it. Either way, it's an option for you. And I'm not here to pitch anything. If you want to learn more, reach out to Bob or reach out to me. I just want to be able to help you. So here are the 3 C's reviews of confidence, conviction, and control. You got to stop comparing yourself to others. You got to stop giving a flip of what other things. If you want to put another F word in there, that's up to you. And you got to stop winging it on your sales. Sales is a process. If you learn the steps to the buying conversation roadmap and you master the ability to overcome objections, your confidence and your conviction and your control come into place. You become masterful at it. So you got to commit. You got to make sure that you ask yourself, do I like them? You got to add some curry to your life by putting in some reps and then celebrate the journey along the way. Because buying conversations and selling like a black belt, that's the real work. Helping the people is a privilege. Highest energy wins, my friends. So my question to you, do you guys have fun today?
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. So if you want, you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can find me at SOS Dojo. And then if you're interested, I also have a school group that is currently free, and you can ask Bob about it. It's SKOOL. And that school group, you can actually come into it absolutely free. I know that we're up for the hour. I'm willing to stay a little bit longer if people have questions. Otherwise, I want to respect your time, and I want to give you this sign of respect in martial arts. This is a sign of respect. This is a safe place. I really respect you guys, and I want to congratulate you for being here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.